Are you the kind of person who can't leave a dead-end relationship? Or maybe you're afraid to quit a job you hate to pursue something you truly desire? Are you having troubles with letting things go? If you answered yes to one or all of these questions, this video will change your life. I will explain to you the psychology behind not being able to let things go and how it is different from persevering. Spoiler alert, they have nothing in common. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which things in your life are worth pursuing and which ones shall be left behind without any regret. In the very end, I will give you a simple technique that you can use to understand whether you shall pursue something or let it go. By the way, I'm Alona, life coach, female coach. Welcome to my channel. Here we talk about self-development for women and building your best life. And you can build your best life without leaving behind things that don't work anymore. So let's get started. Let me tell you two fables. Once upon a time, there were two frogs, and they fell into a bucket full of milk. The bucket was deep and full, and there were no chance whatsoever for two little frogs to get out of it, unless some unexpected miracle happened. So one of the frogs immediately gave up. It said, "What's the point?" Stopped beating its legs, stopped moving, sank, and drowned. The other frog also saw that the chances of survival were slim. However, it decided to persevere no matter what. It continued moving and beating its legs against the milk, and it decided to continue doing so until its powers ran out. After some time, the milk turned into butter from all the beating that the frog had done, and the frog managed to climb on it and jump out of the bucket. Thus, it survived. As you can see, our frog didn't give up, and it was rewarded for it. The second fable. Once upon a time, there was a monkey living in the middle of Indian jungle. Once the monkey was walking through the jungle and saw a little hole in the ground. Inside the hole, there were 3 ripe mangoes. So the monkey put its hand inside the hole and grabbed one of them, which was very hard to do because the hole was really tiny, hardly big enough for the monkey to squeeze its palm through the opening. Now, the monkey had a mango inside its fist, and guess what? It was too big to pass through the opening. So the monkey just sat there, hoping for some unexpected help or maybe a brilliant idea. The evening fell on the jungle, but the monkey continued sitting. It really wanted to go home, but the mangoes were too nice and juicy, and monkey couldn't let it go, so it just continued being stuck there. Few hours later, the hunters came. They saw the monkey with its fist caught inside their trap. They hit it with a stone and killed it. The monkey died, even though at any point during that day, it could simply let it go, let the mango go, take its palm out of the hole and run away. It didn't give up, and it was punished in the end. Are you also confused? So is giving up good or bad? Shall we follow the monkey's example or the frog's example? Both of them didn't give up, but got completely different results. Before we answer this question, let's understand how human motivation works. Scientists did a research to understand what's more important for us as humans, pleasure or disappointment, and they got results that nobody expected. It turns out, if we compare the same amount of negative and positive emotions, imagine if we had 1 kg of pleasure or satisfaction and 1 kg of disappointment. The negative emotions affect us more than the positive ones would cheer us up. Let's understand this once again. Negative emotions affect us more than the positive ones. And if it is so, that means that our bodies, our minds, our whole system is wired towards avoiding the negative emotions, the disappointment, the anger, and so on, first and only secondly, to get pleasure, aka to get what we want. Let's put it simply, majority of people live and act out of desire to avoid disappointment, to avoid feeling inadequate, to avoid feeling like a loser, rather than out of desire to get something, to achieve, to build a life of their dreams. Let me give you an example. A woman, let's name her Anne, wants to get married, and she has her eyes on a businessman, partner of the company she works in. She knows she wants this rich, handsome, high-value man, and one day she gets a chance to get closer to him. Anne's boss asks her to go to the airport to meet the guy, bring him to his hotel, and make sure he was comfortable. And she does. And after that, he even invites her for lunch, and they have a lunch together. And all the time, during this whole day that they spend together, she's boring, she behaves kind of like angry, kind of like self-conscious. She replies to his questions yes or no. She doesn't really speak to him, and of course, she doesn't invite him for a date as she was planning to. She simply mumbles by and runs away, leaving him in the company of a cute bartender. Why couldn't she even try and charm him? Try and ask him out? Well, because she was afraid of rejection, and avoiding rejection was more important than getting the date. What if he said no? What if he told her boss? What if he laughed at her? She would feel like a loser, like a failure. And she would avoid this at all costs, even at a cost at getting a date with the man of her dreams. She didn't act out of her wishes. She acted out of fear of failure. Next day, disappointed Anne meets a male guy at work. His face is covered with acne, his interests are dull, and he lives from paycheck to paycheck. But he seems safe, and she agrees to go out with him. She starts a relationship with a guy she's not interested in, with a guy she knows is not good for her. And over time, she even marries him. Their married life is dull and unhappy, and Anne gets bitter and angrier over the years. But when her male guy announces that he wants a divorce, she resists. She insists that they have to save the family, for the kids, and for the years they've already wasted.
Wait! Don't go.
You just kicked me out.
I know. I put 12 years of my life into this marriage, and we have a daughter. We owe it to Julie to try to work this out.
Ah, Susie.
Don't touch me. You're still a pig.
She refused to give up. The same woman who gave up on the man she truly wanted wouldn't give up in this situation. She wouldn't let go of the man she doesn't want, because she doesn't want to look like a failure, to be a divorced woman, to be a single mother. This is the difference between persevering to get something you truly want and not being able to let things go. The first one we do out of genuine desire to get something, to build a life of our dreams, to build a life we want. The second we do out of fear, out of not being able to feel disappointed, inadequate, and so on. Now let's go back to our frog and monkey example and understand what's the difference between the two. The frog's motivation was to fight for its life, was the survival, and it succeeded. It persevered to survive. The monkey's motivation was to keep the mango she'd found, to not let it go, not to lose. And here you have it. Every time you are fighting for something, every time you're persevering, ask yourself whether you are doing to get something you truly want in the end, or you are doing it out of fear. As promised, I will give you a technique to make things easier. Imagine your life 10, 20 years from now, how it will be if you continue on that track you're on right now. How does it look? What is the outcome? Do you like it? Do you want to be there? If you are fighting to build a career and in 20 years from now you're at the top of it and you don't like it, why are you fighting to build it in the first place? Let me give you a personal example. Some years ago when I was younger, I used to work in a Big Four corporation in auditing. I was fighting to build a successful career in economics and everything was looking great. I was on the right track. And the wake-up call for me was meeting an elder colleague. That woman was 10 years ahead in the career and she was at a very high position where I would eventually get. And I saw her life as it was. She was working 60, 80 hours per week still. She had a baby girl who she wouldn't see. She would pump her breast, guys, I'm sorry, in her cabinet to give it to mother so that she can feed her baby because she cannot see her child because of her work. And I understood I don't want such future. It was a wake-up call for me. I told myself, where am I going? What am I building? I don't even want the building that I'm constructing for myself. So here you have it. Imagine your life 10, 20 years from now and see the outcome. Do you want to be there? Maybe you are afraid to let go simply because you don't want to feel like a failure and not because you truly want it.
You know what I don't get?
What?
Why you married Mrs. Solis? Well, he promised to give me everything I've ever wanted.
Did he?
Yes.
And why aren't you happy?
Turns out I wanted all the wrong things.
Same goes about relationships and anything at all in life that you can't let go. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was really insightful and you took away a lot of things and tips and insights for yourself and your future. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.